And we are back here on Insomnia Sports for a big matchup this week between the 4-4-1 Packers and the 4-5 Seattle Seahawks. This is a must-win game for both of these teams. This game is going to be played in Seattle. One thing I would like to mention that the Packers have not won a game on the road this year, and if they want to continue to be in playoff contention this year, they better come up with a win. Ian is going to be playing the part of Mike McCarthy, coach on the hot seat, and Spencer will be playing the part of Pete Carroll. So without further ado, let's jump right into it, guys. Tell me your thoughts. We'll start with Ian.
Yeah, Green Bay Packers, we need to win this game, okay? We have got to win this game. We have the best quarterback. We have the best player in the National Football League in Aaron Rodgers. There's no doubting it. We've got to get this guy some wins, okay? Being 4-4-1 so far through the season, absolutely unacceptable. The losses, granted, have came to pretty tough teams like the LA Rams, the New England Patriots, the Washington Redskins, and the Detroit Lions. All four of those teams have pretty above average quarterbacks: Tom Brady, Alex Smith, Matthew Stafford, and of course, Jared Goff. So that kind of worries me going into this game because Russell Wilson is an elite quarterback. Okay. He can hurt you through the air. He can hurt you on the ground. His mobility it will present problems for defensive coordinator Mike Pettin in this game. But I will say that the Green Bay Packers pass rush will play a huge, huge part in this game. Now, the Green Bay Packers, I know they don't have the marquee. They don't have Von Miller. They don't have Khalil Mack. Okay, they don't have a J.J. Watt. They don't have a player of that caliber, but we're number one in the league in sacks. Okay.
Wait. The Packers lead the league in sacks?
They do. And as crazy as that might sound, it's true. It's a fact that the Packers are number one in sacks. So the key is to get the Seattle Seahawks offense to third and long situations. How do you do that? You got to stop the run. If you can stop the run and you can hold the Seattle Seahawks running backs under 100 yards in the game, you're not only setting Seattle up in third and long situations or passing third down situations, but you're also, you take a look at the Seattle Seahawks team stats. They're 4-5 on the year. They're 0-3 when they could not get, or they have three of their key losses this season came when they couldn't get over 100 yards rushing. Okay, so when you can hold the running game to under 100 yards, or at least keep their primary back to under 100 yards rushing, and force Russell Wilson into third and long situations, I like the matchup. I understand that we're not going to be playing in Lambeau Field. It's going to be a hectic environment. Seattle plays better on the road, but they can be beat. They've lost already 2 times this year on the road. Okay,
at home, you mean?
Yeah, at home. Excuse me. So they can be beat. They're not like this. They're not this almighty titan. We got to get them to third and long. We got to stop the run. Those are the main 2 points I'm honing in on if I'm the Green Bay Packers.
One interesting thing I'm going to throw in before we get to Spencer, and I'm sure he probably will make note of this. Seattle, we both know, doesn't have the strongest offensive line either. So you couple that with the fact that the Packers they lead the league in sacks. That is a dangerous recipe this week. That's a big, big plus for the Green Bay Packers. Let's get into your thoughts, Spencer. Tell me your thoughts on this matchup. I'm sorry, Pete Carroll.
I'm liking this matchup a lot because you guys have to exercise a lot of demons. Aaron Rodgers, you guys had a 2-touchdown lead in 2013 when you guys were right on the doorstep of making your Super Bowl appearance. Instead, Bostick fumbled that onside kick. You guys lost tragically to Russell Wilson when he threw 3 interceptions in the first half, had his worst playoff game ever, and the Seahawks still ended up winning. You guys lost on a Hail Mary to Golden Tate, a controversial Hail Mary, but you guys have tons of demons when you go
Wait. Before you start getting on the Packers for the Hail Marys, Aaron Rodgers is the king of the Hail Marys.
He's the king.
We saw him kill our Giants in that
The
playoff.
original king is Russell Wilson.
Okay. All right. Keep going.
Remember that one?
Remember the stats.
No. The Green Bay fans know going into this game that Seattle is a house of horrors. Now about this year's team. Seattle's run the ball 51% of the time. We love to run the football, okay? Rashad Penny, our running back, we love to trot him out. I think we gained over 200 yards rushing against the mighty LA defense.
That leads the league, if I'm not mistaken, right? That's the leading percentage in the league.
Yes,
right?
The leading percentage in the league is 51% running the football. We run the ball 51% of the time, okay? bottom line, 65% of the time we're completing passes. And on defense, we're 12th against the pass. So we're not going to be afraid of Aaron Rodgers. We have plenty of takeaways this season. We have a lot of interceptions. We're giving up 14 touchdowns, but we have 10 interceptions, 23 sacks on the season. Everybody fought since that Cam Chancellor's gone, since Sherman's gone, that we can't fill in the secondary, but we're doing absolutely just fine. We have impressive wins. We went to the Lions and got a big win on the season. And we're an experienced team. We're coming home. They have only 4 days to prepare. They're not even going to go back to Green Bay at all because they have a big West Coast trip. So I look for us again. I mean, Chris, you know about the stats on Thursday night about the home team winning this football game.
That's a big plus for Seattle. I think it's roughly 65 to 70% of the time the home team wins on Thursday night.
And I'm sure that Green Bay isn't even going back to Seattle. So what I'd like to see you guys do, or going back to, I'm sure Green Bay is not even going back to Wisconsin. What I'd like to see you guys do is honestly throw the ball. You guys are the king of throwing the football when you don't need to, because you guys have a great running game with Aaron Jones.
I was going to say.
Spencer, you're talking about, the defense, the secondary, it's all hyped up. We don't need Cam Chancellor. We don't need Richard Sherman. That's fine. It's fine. We're first in yards per carry when we run the ball. We'll be fine.
That's crazy to me.
But you won't do it. Let's see you do it.
This team had Ty Montgomery, a wide receiver, as their leading back last year, for half the year, whatever it was. And they lead the league this year in yards per carry. A tremendous turnaround for the Packers this year.
We're first in yards per carry. We'll be fine. We're not afraid of the secondary. But I want to go into the game running the ball, keeping Russell Wilson off the field, and getting to the red zone. Okay, over the last 3 games, the Green Bay Packers rate the 88% conversion rate when we enter the red zone.
Is that just scoring or touchdowns?
Scoring.
Yes, no, I think 80%.
Oh, touchdowns.
We'll give up field goals.
So 88% of the time they're scoring a touchdown when they enter the red zone over the last 3 games. That's a huge stat.
And it's not like the Seattle Seahawks are a top 10 red zone defense. They're not even a top 15 red zone defense. So I like that matchup. We got to run the ball. We can do it. We've shown in the past, the stats say that we can do it. We don't necessarily need to rely on Aaron Rodgers' arm to win us this game. Okay, but if we need to, that's fine. He's the best player in the league. So I like the matchup. There are a few question marks. I don't really necessarily like playing, in Seattle. They have a great home crowd. Their fans really do impact the game. But you know what? When you have the best player, in the league, in Aaron Rodgers, when you're number 1 in sacks, when you're number 1 in yards per carry, when you're 88% conversion rate, when you enter the red zone, going up against the Seattle Seahawks defense that's not even a top 15 in defending against the red zone, I love it. I love it. I love it.
I love that argument. Go ahead, Pete.
Well, what Pete's gonna say is he smacks his gum. What Pete is going to say is that we're 73% in the red zone this year.
On the year.
On the year. So if we get down to the red zone, we are scoring touchdowns on the season. And I just look at our offense. It's pretty, it's concise. It's a lot of running the football. The time of possession is pretty decent that we have. I think we rank in the top 15 in time of possession. I think we're 12th in time of possession this year. So we're going to try to hold the football. But I watched Green Bay play against the Patriots. You guys have a lot of turmoil in that team. Mike McCarthy's on the chopping block. You had some embarrassing performances against the Patriots, where Aaron Rodgers this year, you have no wide receiver depth other than Devontae Adams. You're starting St. Brown. You're starting.
Whoa.
I'm just saying. You have no experience really with wide receivers. That's why Aaron Rodgers fails to trust his young receivers.
But where's Seattle's experience?
Limiting this season.
Where's your experienced receivers? Doug Baldwin and who else?
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say.
And not to mention, at least
we run the ball more.
Aaron Rodgers is Jimmy Graham too. Let's not forget that.
Oh, Jimmy Graham. Oh boy,
Jimmy Graham is irrelevant. Jimmy Graham's irrelevant.
Exactly right. He's not even doing that well this year.
But he's more experienced than anybody Seattle has outside of Doug Baldwin.
Right. We have a couple of young guys that are playing pretty well, but I mean, we're not the passing juggernaut. We're a balanced attack. Green Bay with Aaron Rodgers, the standard in Green Bay when you had Greg Jennings and you had Jordy Nelson and you even had Jermichael Finley is that they were a great passing team. And this year, Aaron Rodgers just doesn't trust these young guys at all.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're completely spot on. What I'm saying is that that's not even the game plan going into the game, so I'm not worried about it. If it's going to come down to that point, Rodgers has shown in the past that he can, you touched on it earlier, make the Hail Mary throw, come back in the fourth quarter.
How about the first game of the year against Chicago this year?
Yeah, that game, I think Chicago won that game, honestly. I mean, Rodgers blew the game.
No. I'm talking about the game the Packers won when they were down, what was it, 20-0 in the fourth quarter, whatever it was, and Rodgers went out there, the Packers won the game.
But they won the games on the scoreboard, but Rodgers should have thrown that interception if Fuller would have
Okay.
If he would have hung on to that interception, the Packers would have lost. And that would make the looking at the record it'd be 3-5-1. That's awful.
Actually, but then the Packers should have definitely lost the Vikings game where Daniel Carlson went full on bizarre mode. He missed the game winner in reg, and then in overtime, didn't he miss a 32-yarder? He got cut the next day.
Yeah. So, looking at Green Bay, this is my plan going in. Like I touched on before, on defense, stop the run, get after Russell Wilson. I like the matchups. The Seahawks don't have the greatest of offensive line, and that's being nice. We're number 1 in sacks. We got to get Seattle to third and long or passing situations on third down. On offense, we got to establish a run game. I feel comfortable doing that. I like the matchups, especially on the interior of the trenches. So looking at us being first in yards per carry, I like that matchup. We got to get into the red zone. If we can just travel, if we can touch the ball back, right? So start the drive off at the 25-yard line. That's only what, 65 yards, 55 yards to get to the red zone. That's a short field. I trust the best quarterback in the league to do that. So we have to get in the red zone. I like it. I love all the matchups, and I want to hear your rebuttal.
Yeah, based on what you guys have said, to me, the key to this football game is simple. The key to this football game is whether or not Seattle can establish the run game. Because if Seattle does not establish the run game, it is going to be sack city on Seattle because the Packers lead the league, and that Seattle offensive line is their Achilles heel. So if Seattle establishes the run game, I like Seattle to win this game. And if they do not, I think Green Bay will win the game. That is the key to this football game in a nutshell.
I agree. It's the trenches. I was very impressed, honestly, with Green Bay when they went to the LA Rams. If Ty Montgomery didn't fumble, they would have a chance to get out of there with a win. The play calling so inconsistent from Mike McCarthy. I think the game plan and I'm saying this for Green Bay, is if they just run the football, and I think that they're going to have a really good chance if they don't overcomplicate it. Because when you have Aaron Rodgers and he can make so many incredible back shoulder throws, they oftentimes really oversimplify what they're doing. And if they keep it simple, Seattle's going to have to use the crowd, and they're going to have to hold Green Bay, I think, under 24 points to win the game.
All right.
Okay, so Chris.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, who do you think is going to win this game, and more importantly, who do you think won this little debate?
Who won the argument? And
all right, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to be honest with you, Pete. I'm going to be honest with you, Mike. I think both you guys came at with great points. I'm going to give McCarthy the slight edge. I thought he had a couple more good points there, but I think
I knew it.
But I think because it's Thursday night, because it's in Seattle, because of the 12th man, I do like Seattle to narrowly win this football game. That's my take on it. I got it. Seattle 23, Green Bay 21.
Fair enough.
With JC, we got to give our score predictions.
Okay, I'm gonna go. And I know, I was playing the role of Mike McCarthy. I'm gonna go Seattle Seahawks 27, Green Bay Packers 23. With the Seahawks winning, obviously.
This is the toughest game to predict to me. This is so hard, I think. I think that this game, I can see Aaron Rodgers going in there. I can see Green Bay playing really, really well. I'm going to give Green Bay the win here. I'm going to give Green Bay the win.
To me, the whole
8-21 Packers win.
to me, the home field is too big of a factor, especially when you couple with it. Green Bay hasn't won a game on the road this year. You factor it's Thursday night, Seattle with the 12th man effect. That's why I'm taking Seattle. I think Green Bay is a better football team, but all that factored in, I like Seattle.
See, yeah, I got the Seahawks winning too. I know I was playing devil's advocate, playing the role of McCarthy and the Green Bay Packers side of it. I got Seattle in a close one at home on Thursday night.
But you're 1-0 against me. I'm 0-1. We should we need a guy.
Yeah, we got to keep track. We got to keep track here.
Yeah, I gotta go back to the drawing board because even when I have the Jaguars versus the Steelers, we're all gonna pick the Steelers to win. But from the coach's perspective, we need to come up with some good game planning.
All right, guys. Thank you for tuning in, and we hope to see you on our next matchup.